Welcome to Guitar Town. We're going up in these Martin sizes now, going up through the aughts, or the people say 28 or 18 or double O or so nowadays, but they used to say double aught. That's all I heard until just a few years ago, just a decade or so ago. I heard people saying triple O a lot instead of triple aught and double aught. Um, just an old-fashioned way of saying the same thing. This is so we're up to size double aught, and this is funny because I usually have to go through and figure out what I'm going to show you out of each size, but I only at this point own one size double O Martin, and it's a 21 style. Like I said, I collect size 21 guitars. This is my favorite small guitar, my second favorite guitar that I own. Um, I've had it for a while. I've recorded a lot of stuff on it since I bought it. I bought it at Green Guitars some years back. It's the one guitar I own that may or may not have a history of belonging to somebody before me that was famous, way more famous than I. When I bought this guitar from at George's, and I think Christy Carter actually sold it to me. I think she brought it out and showed it to me. I was upstairs in that room up at the Old Green Guitars building. It came in I believe to be the original case, and it's certainly a period correct case. And the case was this, and that the person who brought this guitar to Grunge believed to be a picture. It's a photostat of a publicity picture of the original owner. Now, I guess to who that is. That is Burl Ives. When he was a folk singer, he was doing that as much as he was known for that, as much as he was for being an actor. He was a contemporary of Woody Guthrie's. All the Pete Seegers, all the guys that were playing folk music around New York City, and there's a lot of controversy about Burl Ives because he didn't. Some people, he and Pete Seeger didn't speak for years because they responded to summons from the House Un-American Activities Committee differently, but they did reconcile at the end of their lives, and I think I think that's kind of cool and kind of important. So, nobody really knows what they would do under the situation where somebody's threatening you with your livelihood going away, and that doesn't mean that my heroes aren't the guys that like Pete more than anybody else. But don't assume that you know what you would do if you were put in the same position. But I don't know for sure that this. I've never been able to document. If anybody can help me with that information, let me know. It's a 1944 0021, which means it was made during the war. And another thing that makes this guitar unique is it during the war, because they needed the metals, any kind of metals. Gibson and Martin both responded to that differently. Gibson just quit putting any metal in the guitars at all except for the tuners and the frets. Martin, they just made solid wood necks and made them bigger. Martin dropped their metal reinforcement rod. Now keep in mind, there were no adjustable truss rods in Martins until the 80s. They didn't really believe in it. They believed in a fixed, very minimal metal reinforcement in the neck. That's changed shapes and configurations over the years. But they dropped that in favor of a piece of ebony, which is way stiffer than the mahogany and the other materials used in the necks, and helped reinforce it. And those guitars have a completely different sound because everything on the guitar contributes to the sound. Everything from the tuners, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all resonating. It's all speaking. This guitar is it's about the size of a modern classical guitar. The double O size is a little smaller, maybe. To my ear, way deeper than most guitars this size are. It's got, it's 21 style, and the specs for 21 style didn't change until after the war. So it's still what we call pre-war 21 specs, herringbone on the back and the stripe. That's a little more figured rosewood because that wasn't necessarily desirable. The herringbone around the sound hole. I love 21 style guitars. They're a little plainer, and when I done my artist guitar, I did a style 21 guitar because it was an M size guitar, which we'll talk about later. but the only M-size guitars Martin made were style 36 and 38, and I wanted a guitar that was plainer and kind of matched my clothes when I got right down to it. Recorded several things on this guitar. I'm gonna play one. I wanted you to hear without the capo on it. This was a T-Bone Burnett, who believes that Gibson guitars are better guitars than Martin guitars and just sound better. And he's a brilliant guy, and I love him dearly and love working with him, but he's wrong about that. He had to admit that this was he considers this guitar to be an anomaly, a Martin that sounds better than a Gibson. But it is a unique instrument, and I want to play. I recorded this song. I wrote it originally from Joan Baez, but I had to record it myself, and I recorded my version on this guitar. I believe in prophecy. Some folks see things not everybody can see. Once in a while to pass secret along to you and me. I believe in miracles. Something sacred burning every bush and tree. We can all learn to sing the songs the angels sing. And I believe in God. God ain't me. I've traveled around the world, stood on mighty mountain, gazed across the wilderness. I ain't never seen a line in the sand or a diamond in the dust. And as our fate unfurls, every day that passes I'm sure about a little bit less. Even my money keeps telling me it's God I need to trust. And I believe in God. God ain't us. Got on my little understanding, don't care what name I call. Whether or not I believe doesn't matter at all. I receive the blessings every day on earth, another chance to get it right. Let this little light of mine shine and rage against the night. Just another lesson. Maybe someone's watching and wondering what I got. Maybe this is why I'm here on earth, and maybe not. And I believe in God. God is God. 1944, Martin 0021.